Welcome back to the lecture videos on electronic devices and circuits. So this is the second part of your fourth unit, and today we will be seeing how we can stabilize the circuit. Okay, already we have discussed in the last video what is the need of stabilization, or why we have to do some stabilization, or why we have to provide some stabilization to the amplifier circuits, the transistor circuits. So all those need and necessity of stabilization we have seen, and today's class we will see how we can do this kinds of stabilization. So types of stabilization we will see. Two kinds of approach we are having here. One is stabilization techniques, other one is compensation techniques. So the stabilization techniques refers to the use of resistive biasing circuits which permits IB to vary so as to keep IC relatively constant. Okay, so in the first case, stabilization techniques, we will be having resistive circuits. Okay, we will be having resistive circuits which are using to bias the transistor, and these circuits will try to compensate the changes of IC by varying the IB current. Similarly, we will be having compensation techniques which refers to the use of temperature sensitive devices such as diodes, transistors, thermistors, sensistors, etc. to compensate for the variation in currents. So in today's class we will be seeing the first one, stabilization techniques. And before starting that techniques, we have to introduce this. Before moving to the techniques, we will be see what is this stability factor. So when I have designed a circuit, or we have made a circuit, we have to see that whether the circuit is stable or not, or it is getting the proper stabilization or not. So we need some kind of a method to ensure that our circuit or the designed circuit is achieving that stability, or it is able to get stabilization. That means it is, simply I can say that the Q point is not changing according to the temperature variations or the variations in the transistor parameters. So for measuring such kind of how much stable our circuit, we are having this kind of a measurement, that is the stability factor denoted with the letter S. So what is the stability factor? The stability factor is defined as the rate of change of collector current IC with respect to the collector leakage current IC0 at constant beta and VB. So what is that? It is defined as the rate of change of collector current with respect to the collector leakage current IC0 at constant beta and VB. And this stability factor is having some more variations, in two more ways we can find the stability factor. One is S dash, which is defined as the variation of collector current with respect to VBE at constant IC0, that means collector leakage current and beta. Okay, and another one is S double dash, and it is defined as the variation of collector current IC with respect to beta when collector leakage current and VBE are constant. So now I think you got how easily to get these representations. So first one, it is what? It is the rate of change of collector current with respect to the leakage current IC0. At that time, beta and VB are constant, because we know the factors, the transistor parameters which are affecting and which is making the collector current to change, right? They are leakage current IC0, collector leakage current IC0, beta and VBE. Okay, so first S, that means stability factor. When you are finding S, then it is the rate of change of collector current with respect to IC0. At that time, other two parameters are what? Constant. Similarly, when you are finding S dash, this collector current, rate of change of collector current with respect to VBE, at that time leakage current and beta constant. And finally, when you are finding S double dash, at that time rate of change of collector current with respect to beta, at that time leakage and VB are constant. Okay, we have to learn these representation, three representations or three way of representing the stability factor, and in our analysis we will be concentrating on this one, the first one, S. That means rate of change of collector current with respect to the leakage current at constant beta and VBE. Okay, so now we have introduced this stability factor, and what was the first method we are going to consider? The first method was stabilization techniques. In stabilization techniques, we are using what? Resistive biasing circuits. So we will see what are the most commonly using resistive biasing circuits, and in each case we have to find the stability factor. Okay, and let us have a general relation or general expression for this stability factor. So that expression can be applied for the upcoming biasing circuits. So it will be easy to find how much stability factor each circuit achieved. Okay. So expression for stability factor. It is a general expression. Total collector current IC is equal to beta times of IB plus beta plus 1 times of the collector leakage current IC naught for a common emitter amplifier or a common emitter configuration. Okay. So total collector current IC is equal to beta times of IB plus beta plus 1 times of IC naught. And I told you I am going to get an expression for this stability factor, right? Then what is the stability factor equation? S is equal to what? S is equal to DIC by DIC naught. Okay, at that time beta and VBE are constant. Okay, so what we need? Stability factor is what? DIC by DIC naught. So what I will do is I will make this as equation number 1 and differentiate equation number 1 with respect to IC. Okay, so our intention is what? We have to get a general expression for the stability factor, and we know that stability factor S is equal to what? DIC by DIC naught when beta and VB are constant. And for that purpose I have written this total collector current equation, made it as equation number 1, and differentiating this equation number 1 with respect to IC, collector current. Okay, we'll start. So DIC by DIC is equal to, so derivative of beta IB with respect to IC. Okay, so beta is a constant, right? If I am taking derivative for this one, beta is a constant. Remaining thing I will write DIB divided by DIC plus again differentiating beta plus 1 IC naught with respect to IC. We know that beta is a constant, right? And this plus 1 again it is a constant, and leakage current IC naught is also what? Okay, consider here. So D by DIC of beta plus 1 into IC naught. Beta plus 1 is a constant. So beta plus 1 is a constant. Remaining IC naught is there. That is DIC naught divided by, yes, that means derivative of IC naught with respect to IC. D by DIC of IC naught. What is this one? DIC by DIC is what? 1 only, na? 1. So beta times of DIB divided by DIC plus beta plus 1 time of DIC naught divided by DIC. What is that? What is this? D by DIC of IC naught, or differentiating IC naught with respect to DIC. What is that? DIC naught by DIC. DIC by DIC naught is what? S. So what is this? This is 1 by S. So I can write here multiplied with 1 by S. So rearrange that. What is our stability factor? Stability factor, let me write here. Stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. So this is the general expression for the stability factor. The stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. And this is very, very important. And this general expression we are going to use to analyze the how much stability the biasing circuits are achieved. So this is very, very important. Okay. I think it is clear. Minus is not visible, I think. Okay. 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. So all of you try to write this now itself. Okay. Next onwards, we will be having a lot of analysis part. So try to take your book and pen with you. So whenever this is coming in the video, these kinds of derivations or analysis is coming in the video, immediately you write. Okay. We will give time for you and we will wait up to you are telling the write-up is completed. Okay. These kinds of analysis and derivations are very, very important in our 4th unit. Yeah. Now we are having that stability. We have defined the stability factor and we got a general expression for the stability factor. By using that expression, easily we can find the stability of the biasing circuits. And first method is what? In order to attain the stabilization, first we are going to see the biasing circuits. So in this session, we are going to see the main 3 biasing circuits such as fixed biasing, collector to base biasing and voltage divider biasing. Okay. So first let us see a fixed bias circuit. So this is the representation or the circuit diagram of a fixed bias circuit. In the fixed bias circuit, you can see a common emitter amplifier here. Okay, this is the common emitter amplifier circuit, and this is the bias as what? The configuration is common bias on the configuration. We'll take one more time. Yeah, fixed bias circuit. The fixed bias circuit is given here. You can see the transistor here, and this is the collector terminal, this is the base terminal, and this one is the emitter terminal. Okay, and you can see that RB resistance is connected from VCC to the base terminal, and RC resistance is connected from VCC to the collector terminal, and here you can see the base to emitter voltage VBE across base and emitter. So this is the fixed bias circuit. So by using this kind of a circuit, we have to see whether we will be able to attain much stabilization or not. So in order to measure how much the circuit is stabilized or not, we are having what? Stability factor expression, right? By using stability factor expression, we can see whether this is able to achieve much stabilization or not, or whether this circuit is able to minimize the variation of collector current with respect to temperature or the variations in the parameters of transistor. Okay. So what we have to do is, it's very simple actually, because we are having the general expression, right? What is the general expression? The general expression is what? For stability factor, S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC, right? This is the general expression. So simply what I have to find? I have to find for this particular fixed bias circuit, what is this D by DIC of IB, and that I have to substitute there. I will be getting the stability factor. That's very simple. And one important thing I have to tell you now, if you need much stabilization, the stability factor should be minimum. Okay. If I am telling one circuit is more stable, okay, the meaning is what? Its stability factor value should be minimum. If your stability factor value is very, very less, then the circuit is more stable. Keep this in your mind. Okay. Yeah, so we'll start our analysis. In order to get this DIB by DIC, we have to do DC analysis on this particular circuit. Okay. DC analysis means what? This circuit will be a pure DC circuit. For that purpose, capacitor should be open circuited, and there should not be any kind of AC signal. Okay, only DC signal. So this capacitor will be open circuited. So this part won't be there. Okay, remaining things only considered for the DC analysis. So I will be applying KVL in the input side. Okay, in the input side of the circuit from VCC, RB, VBE up to the ground, I am going to apply KVL. If I am applying KVL, like KVL, the input loop. Okay, so what is that? VCC minus IB current is flowing through this RB resistance, so drop will be there. IB, RB. Then you see across base and emitter you are having what? VBE is there. VBE. And anything else? No, then directly to the ground, right? So nothing is there, so equating to 0. And what we need? We need IB. So IB is equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB. Equation number 1. So I am having IB. I want to see what is the stability factor for this particular circuit, fixed by circuit. For that purpose, I told you this is a general expression. Here we have to find what is DIB by DIC. Now we are having IB, right? So what I have to do? Very simple. Differentiate equation number 1 with respect to what? IC. So DIB by DIC is equal to what? D by, with respect to IC, I have to differentiate this particular expression. So constant things we will see. Anyway, RB is a constant, it's a resistance, no? It is constant. So I will write first 1 by RB. Then what about VCC? For a circuit, VCC is also a constant, no? 0. Derivative of a constant is 0. Then what about VBE? VBE is what? VBE is a constant. It will be what? 0.7 volt for a silicon based device. So again that is also 0. Ultimately what happened? DIB by DIC or D by DIC of base current, differentiating IB with respect to collector current, what you got? You got a 0. You got a 0. So what will you write there? The stability factor DIB by DIC is what? 0. It is a 0. So this is what? 0. So this term is gone. So what is your stability factor? Stability factor S is equal to what? 1 plus beta. Stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta for a fixed bias circuit. Okay. And since it is 1 plus beta, it is a bigger value. It is a bigger value. I told you if the stability value is minimum or less, then only our circuit is what? Stable. But now what happened? 1 plus beta means what? It is a big value only. 1 plus beta is a bigger value. So because of that reason, the stability factor is what? Bigger. Since stability factor is more, this particular circuit is what? Less stable. Stability is not achieved, or sufficient stability won't be achieved if you are using a fixed bias circuit. Why? Because its stability factor is more. If stability factor value is more, stabilization attainment is very, very poor. So poor stability or poor stabilization towards the temperature, this particular fixed biasing is having very poor thermal stability. Okay, this particular circuit is having very poor thermal stability, and because of this reason, it won't find much application. Okay. Let us see some of the advantages of this one. Okay. This is very simple circuit to design. You have seen that it was a very simple circuit to design because one RB resistance is connected from VCC to the base of the transistor. So circuit design or construction is very simple. So this is a easy circuit to design. And another advantage of this one is we can change the position of operating point only by changing value of resistance RB. To see this equation, IB current is equal to VCC minus VB by RB. Okay, I told you VCC is a constant, VB will be 0.7 for a silicon based device. So by varying RB, what will happen? By varying RB, we can vary IB. If IB is getting changed, collector current also will be proportionally changing. If collector current is changing, what will happen? Q point will change. So what they are telling is, the main advantage is by simply controlling the RB resistance, ultimately the operating point position can be changed. These are the two applications. These are the two advantages of this fixed biasing. And drawbacks, let us see. Poor stabilization. I told you poor stabilization. Why poor stabilization? The stability factor is very high. So there are strong chances of thermal runaway. We have already discussed about thermal runaway. Since the stability factor is more, thermal stability won't be achieved much. Because of that, what will happen? Possibility of thermal runaway is more in the case of fixed bias circuit. And because of this is very rarely employed. Okay. So that's about our fixed bias circuit. That was the first circuit. So fixed bias is over. Okay. Next is what? So fixed bias is over. And next is collector to base bias. Next, that means second one is collector to base bias circuit. So this is the circuit diagram for this collector to base bias. You can see that the RB resistance is not connected directly to the VCC. It is connected directly to the collector terminal only. And you are having a RC resistance is connected from this VCC to the collector. And VBE across base and emitter, you will be having VBE voltage. And across collector and emitter, you will be having VC voltage. And IB current direction is shown here. And the collector current direction is shown here. And these two currents are supplied from where? From the VCC only. That's why here we have marked like this will be what? From VCC you are having the total current is what? It's a combination of this collector current and this base current. So here we have marked IC plus IB. So IC plus IB, that total current is flowing through this RC resistance. And then you are having IB current to here and IC current to here. Okay. For this circuit also, what is our what we are going to do? We have to find what is the stability factor. If we found the stability factor, from that we can see whether this circuit is having much stabilization or not. So first let me write stability factor equation. S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. Okay. So what we have to find for this circuit, I have to find this DIB by DIC. If DIB by DIC is found, just directly substitute in this particular equation and we can see what is the stability factor. For that purpose, again KVL we are going to apply in the input side. Okay. So start from VCC, then drop across this RC resistance, drop across RB, then VB. So that is the, in this particular loop we are going to apply this KVL. It will be what? VCC minus the total current we are having here. Now it is a combination of IC plus IB. So IC plus IB into RC plus IB into RB is the drop across, sorry, that is minus here. So drop across RB is what? IB into RB minus VBE is equal to 0. Okay, so we will open the bracket. So VCC minus, here we will open this bracket, minus IC RC minus IB RC minus IB RB minus VBE is equal to 0. And here we can see the common terms here, IB, this one and this one. So we will write VCC minus IC RC, take IB common, so minus IB into RC plus RB minus VBE is equal to 0. So what we have to get? We have to get DIB by DIC now. I have to differentiate IB with respect to IC. So I have to write in terms of IB first. We'll write in terms of IB. So IB will be equal to VCC minus IC RC minus VBE divided by RC plus RB. Okay, we got IB now. If I am having IB, it is very easy to find what? DIB by DIC. If this is equation number 1, then what? Differentiate equation number 1 with respect to IC. That's it. We'll get this. So I hope you are writing along with me. Okay. And let us see. Anyway, RC plus RB, this denominator part is a constant. So first I will take that constant things outside. So RC plus RB first I will write. Okay. Remaining things. What about VCC? D by DIC. D by DIC of VCC is what? 0. It is a constant. Okay. Here D by DIC of this ICRC or D by DIC of ICRC. RC is constant, na? We'll take RC outside, and D by DIC of IC is what? 1 only. So 1 only. You know that. Minus again VB is what? It's a constant. 0. So what we are getting? What is this DIB by DIC? So what is this DIB by DIC? It is nothing but simply minus RC divided by RC plus RB. I will write here. So DIB by DIC is equal to minus RC divided by RC plus RB. Okay. Yes. So we got DIB by DIC. So that I have to just substitute in this particular equation. Then we will be getting what? The stability factor. Okay. So you can do that. Just substitute the value of DIB by DIC. What is that? DIB by DIC is nothing. Simply minus RC divided by RC plus RB. So do the substitution. So our stability factor equation is what? S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. Okay. In this case, for this biasing, what we got? DIB by DIC is equal to minus RC divided by RC plus RB. Okay, this is the collector to base feedback we are talking. So if you are substituting that, S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC is what? Minus of RC by RC plus RB. So that minus and minus will get what? Positive. So 1 plus beta into RC divided by RC plus RB. So this is a stability factor equation for our collector to base biasing. Okay. And it is very clear that it is less than what? 1 plus beta. For the first one, fixed biasing, we got what? Stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta, and I told you it is a very big value. So the stabilization attainment will be very, very poor. Whereas in this case, anyway, this particular biasing, that means collector to base biasing, is superior when you are comparing to the first one, fixed biasing, because its stability factor is less than 1 plus beta. It is very clear from this expression. Stability factor S is what? Less than 1 plus beta. So this is having somewhat more stabilization, or it is somewhat more thermally stabilized comparing to the first one. So thermal stability will be more. So thermal stability will be more when you are comparing this particular biasing. That means collector to base biasing with the previous one, fixed biasing. Okay. So I hope all of you got this particular representation. S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 plus beta into RC by RC plus RB. We will be having a lot of numericals regarding these three configurations. Okay. Now fixed biasing is over. This one is what? Collector to base biasing, and one more is there, potential divider biasing. For all these three cases, we will be having many numerical problems. So these all equations you have to remember. Yeah, so the stability factor for this collector to base biasing is what? 1 plus beta divided by 1 plus beta into RC divided by RC plus RB. The stability factor S is smaller than 1 plus beta, and it is very clear from this representation. So, an improvement in stability is obtained as compared to the fixed bias circuit. For a fixed bias circuit, the stability factor was 1 plus beta, and because of that high stability factor value, poor stabilization was there. But now, this particular one, collector to base feedback, is having stability factor somewhat lesser than this 1 plus beta. So, that stabilization is improved in this particular case. And also, this S can be made smaller. We know that always we need lesser value or smaller value for the stability factor, then only the circuit will be having more stabilization. Keep in your mind. So, in order to get somewhat smaller value of stability factor, either you can make RB value smaller or RC value larger. Okay. Yeah, here comes our third biasing circuit. Okay, that is the self bias, or you can call it as emitter bias or voltage divider bias. So this is the most commonly using biasing method. Okay, you can call it as a potential divider bias or voltage divider bias, emitter bias, and self bias. Many names are there. Okay, don't get confused all these names with our fixed biasing and collector to base biasing. And you see, this is our transistor, and you can see collector resistance or RC resistance is connected there, and RE resistance, emitter resistance, you can see here, which is connected to emitter terminal. And you see here this combination, this R1 and R2. Because of this combination only, it got the name what? Voltage divider biasing. These two voltages will divide your voltage VCC. Okay, and for biasing purpose, voltage across R2 is provided here. Okay, that's why it got the name voltage divider biasing. And like this, our analysis will be somewhat difficult. So what we will do is, we will represent this particular bias, this potential divider bias or voltage divider bias, with its, we will represent the same with its Thevenin equivalent circuit. In network theory, I think in your first year itself, we have learned network theory subject. So you will be having some experience on how to represent a circuit as a Thevenin equivalent circuit or a Norton equivalent circuit. Okay, in this case, I am going to represent this particular voltage divider biasing circuit with its Thevenin equivalent circuit. Yeah, you can see here. So this is our circuit. Okay, if our circuit is represented like this, you know the procedure. Now what we have to find? I have to find stability factor. Okay, in order to find stability factor, what we need? We need dIB by dIC. For that purpose, I need what? IB. The representation for or expression for IB we need. But if your circuit is like this, it is very difficult to get that KVL from the input side. So for easiness, what we are doing is, we are representing the same circuit as its Thevenin equivalent circuit. You know that in a Thevenin equivalent circuit, you will be having that Thevenin voltage, which is represented here VT, and the equivalent resistance RB. Normally it will be what? RTH, Thevenin resistance RTH. But in this case, to denote that resistance is acting in the base terminal, I have noted here as what? RB resistance. Okay, don't get confused. In this particular analysis, RB is the representation for RTH only. And you know that the voltage and this resistance will be in series with the voltage. So this is the Thevenin equivalent representation. All other side in the output side remain same. You can see RC resistance there. Then what? Your RE resistance there, we can see. Only the input side we have represented with the help of, or by representing the input side with its Thevenin equivalent circuit. Okay. So after representing it with the Thevenin equivalent circuit, we have to know what is this VT value. Okay. So that VT value or Thevenin voltage will be equal to R2 into VCC divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, and what is the Thevenin resistance? I told you the Thevenin resistance RTH I have not denoted here as RB resistance for easy understanding. That will be equal to R1 parallel to R2. If I am taking that effective resistance value, it will be R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, so I hope you got the reason why we are moving to that Thevenin equivalent representation to make our analysis easy only. That's it. So both circuits are same. The main potential divider biasing is represented. That means its input side is replaced with its Thevenin equivalent representation, which is having the Thevenin voltage VTH and the Thevenin resistance RB. Okay, and you know that for that representation, this resistance will be series with the voltage source. Okay, and the value of VT is given here, and value of RB or RTH is given here. Now our analysis is very simple. I have to obtain what? Expression for IB. To this circuit, it is very easy to apply the analysis. Okay, so what I have to get? I have to get IB. For that purpose, first I have to apply KVL in the input loop. In the input loop, I have to apply KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. If we are applying that, what will be getting? VT, we can look here and we can tell me, okay. So VT minus IB current is flowing through this one, RB. So drop across RB is what? IB, RB. And here voltage across VBE. This is base and this is emitter. Na? So voltage across that base and emitter VBE voltage will be there with this polarity. So it will be minus VBE minus here RE resistance is there. So drop across RE is what? This current into that resistance. So IE into R is equal to 0. So what we did? We just applied KVL in the input loop. We got the equation like this. Okay. And here we have to take that IB, right? We have to get the expression for IB only. You see, what is this IE actually? What is IE? IE is equal to IB plus IC, na? Emitter current is equal to base current plus collector current. So I will replace this IE with IB plus IC. So next step, VT minus IB RB minus VBE minus IE is replaced with what? IB plus IC. IB plus IC into RE is equal to 0. Okay, it's a very simple substitution. Next step, I will open this bracket. Okay. So VT minus IB RB minus VBE, open the bracket. So minus IB into RE, then minus IC into RE is equal to 0. And from this one we have to take that IB terms common. So here one IB RB is there, here one IB RE is there, right? So I will take that. So our equation will be VT minus IB into RB plus here what? RE minus VBE minus IC RE is equal to 0, right? And from there, here it is very easy to get the expression for IB, right? So I will get the expression for IB. So IB is equal to VT minus VBE minus IC RE divided by RB plus RE. Okay, and make it as equation number 1 or something, equation number 1. So I hope you are following this. All of you are writing along with me, I hope. Okay, it's very simple only. What we did, we got a Thevenin equivalent circuit. For that circuit, we have applied KVL in the input loop, and we got the first expression here. And from there, I have substituted IE with IB plus IC. Then bracket is opened, IB terms are made common, and written the expression in terms of IB. For IB, I have written the equation. That means IB is equal to VT minus VB minus IC RE divided by RB plus RE. Equation number 1. Now, what is next step? Next step, I have to find D by DIC of this IB, and that value should be substituted in our stability factor equation. And we can see the stability of this particular circuit. That's it, no? Yes. Okay, so we got our equation number 1. So we got the expression for IB. So what is next step? Differentiate equation number 1 with respect to IC. That means DIB by DIC. So if I am doing that to the equation number 1, this denominator part is what? Constant resistance only, no? First we will take that outside. So RB plus RE, and remaining things we will see. Again, D by DIC of VT is what? It's constant value only. Thevenin voltage is constant, 0. VB is what? It is constant, 0.7 volt for the silicon based device. Minus here, D by DIC of IC RE means this RE is constant, and D by DIC of IC is what? 1 only. So what we will be getting here is DIB by DIC is equal to minus RE divided by RB plus RE. This is your equation number 2. So if I am having DIB by DIC, what's next? Just substitute this value in our stability factor equation. Okay, so what is stability factor equation? It is S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. So now we got this DIB by DIC. What is that? Minus RE divided by RB plus RE. Substitute there. So I am substituting. Finally, stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into this minus RE minus is there, no? So minus minus will be plus. So beta into RE divided by RB plus RE. So this is the stability factor for your potential divider or voltage divider biasing. S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 plus beta into RE divided by RB plus RE. And beginning of this voltage divider biasing, I told you this is the most commonly using. Okay, so some reason will be there na, for that. Let us see what is the reason for that. So this is a stability factor equation we got for this voltage divider biasing. So I told you na, why this is the most commonly using biasing method when comparing to the other two, fixed biasing and collector to base. Some reason will be there, right? Some reason will be there, right? So we will be see what is the reason for that. So I will be doing some small simplification to this particular stability factor equation. So S will be equal to 1 plus beta into cross multiplying the denominator. So it will be RB plus RE plus beta into RE divided by RB plus RE will come. I am taking that to the numerator. So it will be RB plus RE. So now we can see that this RE terms we can take common. So it will be equal to 1 plus beta into RB plus RE. So here in the denominator I am taking this RE terms common. So it will be RB plus RE into 1 plus beta. Okay. Now divide numerator and denominator with RE. Okay. So divide numerator and denominator with RE. So what will happen here? This term and this term should be divided with RE. I will write that stability factor is equal to 1 plus beta multiplied with RB divided. I am taking that divide here numerator also with what? RE, denominator also with RE. So it will be RB by RE plus RE by RE will be what? 1 divided by here RB divided by RE plus RE by RE will be 1. So 1 plus beta. Okay. So if in case this RB by RE factor, here also RB by RE is there, here also RB by RE is there. If this RB by RB factor, RE factor, RB by RE factor, okay, that resistance ratio is very, very small when comparing to 1. So we can neglect that part. I'll repeat. In this condition, if this RB by RE ratio we are making or we are getting it as very, very, very small when comparing to 1, we can neglect that. Okay. If it is very, very small when comparing to 1, we can neglect that. If you are neglecting that one, the stability factor S will be equal to 1 plus beta multiplied with, we are neglecting that now. So 1 only there divided by, we are neglecting that here. So remaining thing is what? 1 plus beta will be there, and this 1 plus beta will be get cancelled, will be equal to 1. And because of this reason only, this voltage divider biasing is the most commonly using biasing when you are comparing with the previous two ones like fixed biasing or collector to base biasing. Because for this particular one, ideally speaking, we can say that the stability factor can be made to 1 ideally. Okay. Thank you.